武士道とは死ぬことと見つけたり、修羅道とは倒すことと見つけたり、我悪鬼羅刹となりて目の前の敵すべてを斬る。侍ショーダウン。
I'm just doing a quick sound test. Give me a second. I'm just doing a quick sound test. Give me a second. I'm trying to see if my fan is not like super loud or anything. I'm gonna turn off all the sound audio so I can see if my sound is okay. I'm trying to see if it's the fan's up to the TV. Okay, so it is the fan. Dang, I'm gonna have to turn it off. Rip. Jeez, this sounds terrible. Jeez, I think it's just actually repeating itself because of how the mic is set up. How is the word "rip" still showing up? This is actually confusing me. Interesting. I'm gonna put the all volume in my headset, so I can just focus on that and it shouldn't be too weird. I just gotta turn down my headset. Okay, let me see. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. There's some weird audio delay. It's like repeating it like 4 or 5 times. Let me see. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1. It's probably coming from the phone adding the feedback. I mean, just see what this does. Okay. I won't be able to hear if it has feedback or being weird feedback. Let me see. Let me know if that settled it, because if that's the case, then we should be good to go. If hopefully it is the case, because oh god, that was the first time I ever had a stream issue like that. So the game volume is no longer an issue. I think it was the phone audio. I know you guys would hear the same thing I'm hearing, so I'm gonna put it, I think, it back at like 70, like 75 again. Okay. Well, let me know if there is an echo that returns, but it seems like we're all in the clear now. Yes, save these changes. Oh boy. Well, the first thing is we gotta go to the lab. I have every character except her. I keep forgetting to buy her, I'll be very honest. But practically everybody's here. In this game's recent patch, adding the waifu Roha, everyone got like a slight adjustment. Wu Leishong actually got a good amount of buffs, slight nerfs unfortunately, but it is what it is. Everyone did get retooled. There is a website called Event Hubs that lists every character's readjustments that happened during that time. Or I think this was like the Magica Mina or freaking Sogetsu patch. It's one of the recent patches that involved the newer characters and everyone got adjusted. Anyway, I don't even care anymore. I'm gonna just start the stream how it is. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I'm just here to help out a friend of mine named Zay, who I'm currently interested in teaching a little bit more or helping him get good at Samsho. I'm no like super fantastic tournament winning saint in this game, but I'm fairly decent at knowing the game's like mechanics and rules and what you can do. My main consists of Tam Tam, Basara. Just those two, primarily. Well, can't even say that anymore because the waifu, Wu Leishong, got a buff. She's been like a pocket joke character I'd play ever since the game dropped. And I'd always play her because she's actually very interesting. There's like a lot of cool stuff for her, but she really does have to work for it, especially if she has like the life deficit. So those are the mains that I use, primarily speaking. So, Zay, since you are here, how do you want me to make this work? Do you want to see me lab a couple of things with my characters, or you want to like toss ideas around? I'm curious to know what you will say. Because I've only fought a couple of Rojas because she's still kind of new, and one of them happens to be a streamer named Sonic Soul, and he, even if this game had better like netcode, I think he and I would have better matches. But he's still a fantastic player. He'd body me with his other main characters for sure. I wish I could wait. Is there ways to grab? Is there ways to watch replays?
Dojo. Database.
Player data. Is there a way to watch replays? I don't think there is. Is there? No. I don't care about my rank. I think overall records. Okay, I'll lab with my characters. Oh, this is when I fought Armbird. Yeah, this was a constant back and forth. This character's freaking nuts to fight, man. Kazuma, I think? He was mad ridiculous. Yeah, Q is my profile picture. Love that character to death. Sonic Soul was playing Iroha. Yep, there he is. I mean, this should be the Iroha I was thinking about. Nope, this is a different Iroha. Yep, these are the ones of Sonic Soul. If I can watch these. I don't think I can. Wait, ghost data. L1. Dang, looks like I can't watch any of the replays. Huh. Dang. I'm a little disappointed. Is there no way to watch replays? Various videos and artwork. Movie. Nope, that's from the game. Artwork, sound. Battle. I guess I can't. Well, you can't seem to rewatch fights from what it looks like. Live. Leaderboard, casual match, no. Practice, options. Doesn't seem like it. Oh wow, I didn't know that you actually could turn this off.
System.
Nope, that's it. Can't do anything. Oh well, anyway, we dragged on long enough. Time to go to the lab. So since you want me to practice with my characters, I will do my basics here. Now the things that, how I play, or how I usually try and get good in games, is always pick my worst character. Like to fight against, like this character is okay. I just hate her jump heavy. Her jump heavy is literally what carries her, in my opinion. But any other character that I've dealt with or have issues fighting against, it only comes down, especially like say the one I fought Armbird. He was like the one that I had like a constant back and forth with recently, and he's a very good Kazuma player, and he can be kind of stupid sometimes. He's very good. I respect him though. I kind of already went like a lot with Basara. It's actually kind of annoying, but I still like this character. Even with the minor buffs, it really doesn't help. I'll pick my boy though. The only character I actually recently keep getting annoyed of is Yashimaru, because his recent buff to his special move in the air where he tosses down his sword, he now has more capabilities of actually doing more actions. Before, like pre-patch, any patch before this, Yashimaru actually had to commit to throwing the sword. So, I'll show you real quick right now, once this loads. Okay. So, he would always have to deal, I think was it this one? Yeah. He always had to commit to this move in particular. That move of his it's never like, I would still see some players use this character, but not enough. Even when this game was still very new, I rarely saw this character. I only just know like people would complain about his DP auto-correcting or just not auto-correcting in some situations or crucial moments, or something else entirely. But they do mention this. He has good air mobility, he has a double jump, literally changes everything. Him and Iroha are the only ones with a double jump. The other characters in the series would have like some other gimmicks to delay their fall speed or just delay entry on opponent. Like say Rimuru, she has her ice block, which actually could mix up her opponent and is an attack and actually gives her an extra little hop and holds her in place. And there is cool setup potential by doing like an instant air version of that by backdashing and putting it. Now, every character in this game, I'm going over the basics for Yuze so you can kind of get this down on the rundown. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Anyway, as I was mentioning, every character in here is different by how they play, but what their basic stats would be. Darlie or any of the females in the game have a short jump arc, while Tam Tam has a long jump and he actually falls down kind of slow. Like, compare to that. See? Even this, I'm going to do this and then that. See? The slightest change can be very different. Like, a lot of these changes actually will have to change on how you would approach certain situations. Because if you have a slow fall speed, that basically says, oh, I have more time to anti-air, I have more time to respond with a button, I have anything to do. Now, the funny thing about the jumps is some characters even fall slower than these two. Ukyo, for example, has probably the slowest. He falls down like a feather. Or I think Kyoshiro is the one that is the slowest falling character. But besides the point, when it comes to those things, you always kind of keep that in mind. Because, again, anti-airing is always a thing. And certain situations can involve very painful situations to exaggerate a potential damage you could receive or take. So let's say me as Tam Tam, I shouldn't be jumping too much. One of the key things about this character, are you on all block, right? Okay, he is. Perfect. The thing about Tam Tam is, whoops. The one thing that any Tam Tam player you would see is they would always do this. This is his instant overhead. It hits low characters. And the difference between that hit stun to this is the extended hit stun since they're crouching, because it's an overhead. Meaning you can get some stuff like this. If I can see, the extra added hit stun because it's an overhead gives you combo potential or other capabilities, or in Tam Tam's case, you just want to get away while taking a good chunk of their life away. Now, I'm not going to go for like super deep details because those are the interplay of the matches between two players. Sonic Soul already showed me this because I never had this ever happen to me before, but it made sense. Before I try and go to interplay about the characters, I'm going to explain what the other stuff I do. Any Tam Tam player has done this. If no Tam Tam player has done it, you're kind of bad for that. But there's always a good cost and a cost and reward for doing certain things in this game. The game will reward you heavily for it, but there is a decent, necessary, almost kind of terrible drawback, because if they happen to be standing, you would get this type of hit stun. That hit stun is the worst you want, and I can do this like this. And I was able to record, and I was able to move immediately. And since you already whipped a button, you have to commit until you hit the ground. You have to hold that, so you can have this happen to you. That's a legitimate punish. He has... I don't play Yashimaru like that, so I can... Yeah. Perfect. You can have this happen to you. Oh, Lord. I don't play Yashimaru, man. Oh, God. That just works, too. Like, his stand heavy already does too much. Look at that. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't think... Does he? Yeah, so he innately already has 2 heavy attacks. That already does half health. No character in the game could do that. So, let's say his Tam Tam wants to do what I just do. If he just times just a second later, it's literally in his favor. Like, what's the punish from my hitting him to him hitting me? You have to be careful, because you have to... It's almost like when you're playing Ukyo pre-patch, that you want to make them always second guess themselves and block low, get the Tsubamigaishi overhead. Because, like, oh, it's a big reward and he gets massive Okizeme. Okizeme, for people who don't understand, is making your opponent guess after a knockdown, and now they have to deal with the pressure that you will proceed. That's the general basis of what Okizeme is. Knocking down your opponent, applying pressure on their wake-up frames. Basically it. If you need me to try and explain it a little differently, that's the basic I can give it, but if you need or have more questions, then I will do my best to answer. But, as I was saying, when it comes to this, you have that. Like, people don't punch me enough. They'll either do something super simple and not capitalize on it. And it would make Tam Tam players be a little more apprehensive, hopefully I'm using the word right, to kind of recklessly toss this out. Because if you get, sometimes you might want to just take the hit standing, Like, literally, you don't lose much. I mean, you can die from it, so don't be stupid. Don't let it hit you in the face on purpose. But if you happen to get hit, just be aware, like, oh. But the thing is, unlike Tamtam or many other characters, this is mad slow. So there's no real way for you to kind of do this. I just kind of mashed it out because I panicked. Tamtam would have to deal with that on the moment he lands, or me as Tamtam, I could do this. See, I can't do that. So there's this thing in this game called combo jumping. You notice we have end lag after fully jumping regularly. And this game lets you combo your jump, so you can do this. Regular, combo jumping. Regular jump, combo jumping. You could do it like this, or regular jump. It's just better to combo jump because you also immediately dodge throws. Because you would land, you can have this happen to you. But if you do this and then throw, punish. So like, let me show example. See? Now if I regular jumped, it would look like this. See? I'll even delay it a slight second. And well, I can't even delay it that much. But see? If I had like a decent fall speed, I probably would have landed into the throw anyway. Or still would have missed, depending. Let's just say that. But see how I would do at the same time as him? If I don't jump, or my fall speed kind of gives me that like little edge, then the throw will miss. The throw gives you like a lot of opportunities, but it's one of the most crushing things because if you miss, it could cost you the game, cost you your weapon, anything. It's dangerous to throw, but throwing will give you the best situation. Some characters can capitalize throws better than others. I will definitely say that. A lot more other characters in this game could actually handle throws better than other characters. So the reason I have a firm belief on why this is the worst weapon flip in the game is because I never see any Yoshimaru player ever knock a weapon out, except by sheer luck. But the core of what my friends actually told me when I visited them recently is the chip damage. The chip damage is actually pretty insane. And I've fought a Yoshimaru player. I wish I could show the replay. I actually had to manually save that and then go to Share Factory and show you from there. But that's kind of too much work. And I can't jump to 2 different applications and still stream, so it's kind of annoying. But I digress. As this continues to go on, the match got to the point where he did this. He burst. And bursting gives you access to this move called Isen. This move, depending on how much meter you have, will do a huge amount of damage to your opponent. And it's full screen. Pre-patch it wasn't, only Genjiro was. So now as it stands, every character could kind of do the same move. Now, when you don't have meter, you can actually still do this. And it's like a get off me move. This patch recently lets you do this now on block. So you now can do that on block. Previously you weren't able to. You just kind of get chipped out. If I had Kyoshiro on the screen, like, oh, I know you're about to get chipped out by my WFT, weapon flip technique for short. Let me just chip him out and just play the next game, or just take the round, GG's, no rematch. Well, now you could just say no, and here's a good example. On block. See? Now, it's kind of funny now I think about it. Like, this is actually an accurate punish. Actually, no. The moment you burst actually gives you no opportunity to actually hit the opponent from that. Okay, we're in the clear on that one. I see that you posted a comment. I'm looking at it. So, it's now a defensive mechanic. I mean, it was always meant to get you out of actual hit stun, not block stun. So if I do this, so blocking on all. So if I do this, I could just say no. I don't want to take that second hit. But see, the thing is, any Samsho player already knows this, but if you haven't, if you already use burst, your meter is gone permanently until the end of the games you play. Let's say if you have 5 rounds set and you already did this round 1, well, through the rest of those 5-10 games, you have no meter, meaning you don't have a weapon flip technique to do big damage, take away your opponent's weapon safely, anything along those lines. It's essential. And it's always good to always have good meter management. You can't necessarily build your own meter. It's only built through being in constant battle. Like, your opponent would have to hit you for your meter to build in any way. Only a few characters in the series are a few exceptions that could build meter on their own, but it has a heavy cost. They have to actually use a bit of their life to get full meter instantly. And there's a character in this game that was from the last season, I think. His name was Wanfu. He could bash his head on his pillar for instant rage meter, no matter what. But it cost him his health. A little tidbit there. So now, even though I did explain the small intricacies of what about this character that can be very dangerous, but the one thing I described, this is a universal thing. I've had this happen to me a lot because, oh, they happen to stand, now I have to deal with it. This is worse. This is worse if your opponent happens to do this. So let's say I do this. That could be much worse if he had more meter. It's possible. If they already have the rage explosion activated, and that this situation ever happened for Tam Tam, you're practically gonna die. There's no reason to ever do it at that point unless you know for a fact that they would die. No matter if they took it while crouching or standing, you'll know that you're gonna win. But even then, that's still very risky. Now the thing is, what I mentioned earlier about his chip damage, Yashimaru by the way, is you'll see right here. This will be on regular, all guard. So now this is the chip damage from Tam Tam. It goes up to the R. Now Yashimaru's pretty simple, right? Looks around the same. Well, this character has an install transformation, whatever junk, while then they rage explode. So meaning they change a lot. So you saw the chip damage before. This is what it looks like now. Actually, let me get closer. Kinda nuts. It does a lot more. It's still not that great to do in a huge amount of moments like that, but I will mention that the fact that if he has this full means that this character can actually kind of get away with this because it's a projectile. Where the heck is... Yes, rage. Okay, see, he can get away with this. Yeah. Even though it was kind of redundant for me showing you, you guys probably got the idea. That itself, he can do. And him being full screen makes it much more dangerous, but don't let that discourage you. It's really not that threatening. Because the fact is, not only is the startup the way it is, you could kind of get in his face immediately. Now, him blocking it was kind of me not punishing properly, because anybody can actually punish this just fine. See? Now, it's just getting better at it. It's because the Yashimaru player would always do it on not do it on wake up, but every time I would roll forward from being knocked down, he would do it. If I'm close enough, I actually would roll past him and then just get a good punish. Or if I roll back, I can actually buffer in while rolling this and actually get a punish. Or if I'm even full screen, I can literally let him do it. See? And that is just a bad ending for the Yashimaru. It's just understanding your situational moments and being able to punish accordingly is what you kind of want to do in this game. Like, you could be good at movement, combos, even though there's really none in the game like that. It's all the fact of being aware of your actions and your opponent's actions, and you capitalizing on situations to get the damage. Or getting situations in your favor at full screen and force your opponent to make risky moves, make them cause a mistake, yada yada yada. So Zay, if we did fight my Tam Tam against, I think your Roha's your main, or Mina, or you have a pocket Haramaru, so whatever your character is, it's practicing against the character you want to understand or get the match up for. So, for example, my issue with the player that I mentioned earlier was a Yashimaru player. He would always do this when he has a chance. This move becomes more ridiculous on Rage because it buffs the damage, and it buffs or gives him an extra combo opportunity. And now he actually can now not have to commit to the first one. He can now do this into, let's say, this, jump into that, for example. As Tam Tam, I actually have been, or have gotten caught of situations of me throwing things because it would clip my hand, or that would happen. My only chances to really catch that is if I block the sword. I could do something like this. Let's just say that it was the super, not the regular fireball. And it's only up to the Yashimaru player, because I always read, because he would always do this in particular. He would throw this down, and then, like, double jump back away, and then my fireball would barely clip him. No matter if it hits you once or whatever, your weapon's gone. Just gone. So, what I practice, again, is what I mentioned, is trying to see what my character can do in those situations. Like, the ones that I feel less favorable in. Because Yashimaru doesn't have a natural projectile, but he has a double jump. He has other moves to kind of help deal with zoning in its own right. And he has a dive kick, and so on and so forth. Yashimaru is a dangerous character. I will definitely say that, especially after the buffs. Because he has like a cross of DP. It'd be very annoying. Especially the player that I fought would do this. And he would do it a lot. And the sad part is, I feel like if he spaces it at a certain way, it's not even a cross-up anymore. Or if it is, then it's a little weird. See, like situations where it will always be a cross-up. Some spots miss, some spots hit. It's about the spacing. Hopefully I'm not adding too much information. I don't want to make it like overly complicated. It's just how my mind works. Okay, so that's who you use for fun. Okay. I'm also still reading the comments, just making sure about that. So, now the few other things that I've already mentioned is like, one of the core issues I always had to deal with this character. Okay, you're getting the gist of it. Sweet. Well, you just commented? I'm fine, thank you. Now the thing is about what I do is I don't practice against this character like mad often. I should. I just don't play the character enough to get the general idea of his gimmicks yet. They're simple. The few ones that I do know are just simple because the opponent would pester me with those. Especially being Tam Tam with a floaty jump, not much options in the air, kind of limits me sometimes. Now, when I have Basara, I get some options, but they're very risky. To the point where if I screw up, it's kind of over. And the thing is about Yashimaru's sword, when he throws it, it's not a projectile. Meaning if you try and clash it with a projectile, you lose. There's no winning it. He will just hit you through it, get a full combo, or do half your health, depending on what his rage is. The character's kind of nuts. I'll be very honest. So, there's a bunch of these characters I've used or have played with for fun. But let's go to my third recent full-time main, Wu Leishong, the waifu. She has like a lot of stuff in her favor. Like, theoretically speaking, because she still has to work real hard to kind of like really grow from something. Like, anybody that plays this character knows that her core gimmick playstyle idea is the trap, and what she can do off of it can kind of lead to anything. And I've practiced and have enough recordings to kind of put it together. I have a video for it. Just scroll down through the channel, you'll find it. It's the Wu Leishong buff video. But there was something interesting that I recently got hit with, was her one combo in her general combo she can get confirm. It's her E-Send confirm out of Rage Explosion. I couldn't speak. Just a little tired. Anyway, her movement speed is kind of whatever. But the reason why I play her is because she's fun, but she also tests my skills. Because you're not going to ever see her really win any tournaments unless it's like someone really grinds. But she does thrive decently. It's like, what you want to do with her is keep your opponent at your own fixed distance. Because her anti-airs or normals aren't that great. They're purposefully bad. I like this jab's okay. This is fine. This is actually pretty solid. This is all right. This is actually pretty okay. Her anti-air consists of special moves. She really doesn't have an anti-air. You could try and use this, but from my experience, it's not reliable enough. But if you use it and it works 100%, use it. But to be honest, her main anti-air I would say is just this. Her Thunder Strike, there's 3 versions. And the recent patch, they got this one buff. Meaning, like you see this knockback, basically, this now forces that without Rage Explosion. Meaning, any situations that are very specific, you will have like this. Meaning, you get a legitimate combo from it. You can't naturally combo into this in any way. It's just the push back from being hit. Now her other crippling issues are kind of annoying to me are her counter. It's very finicky because it blocks jump-ins like pretty decently. But there is like a decent amount of startup to where you can't get it, but you hear the sound, like you hear that sound, but the move isn't fully done being out yet. Meaning, it's a counter hit and it's kind of bad. And how counters usually work in other fighting games, her feet are not safe. There we go. Actually, I'll just do this instead. Perfect. See? It only blocks mid to high. It doesn't work. It doesn't even hit, like, save her from being hit from behind. So if you get her, if you hit her with a cross up, it kind of renders the counter useless even more. I still use it because if I read a jump in, it's pretty good. Yeah, but they nerfed her fire, that move, because I don't remember if it was like ever safe on block, but I think it was where you could at least block yourself, where you're basically kind of safe. You now have more end lag to it, so now you have to kind of deal with it more. So if they block this, it's gonna be a confirmed hit from a light or a medium, and your character can go a little crazy from there. Now the thing is about special moves being cancelled are her mediums. Like this one is my favorite because recently, I'm assuming again it's from this patches, now she could cancel her run version, so she could kind of do this. Some characters, like Tam Tam, doesn't have this. But see, out of a running normal, your character can actually do a lot from it. Not every character, again, is blessed with that gifted, beautiful thing. Some just have to deal with it and just curl up and die. Now let's backtrack a little bit to throws. Again, all of it is dangerous, but the reward is fine. Again, not every character is created equal, but most throws guarantee you a weapon flip. So that means you could do this. Out of this, you can normally land it, but there's 2 forms of throws in this game. Forward throw, back throw. And back throw gives you actual frame advantage, meaning you're more plus after that throw. The forward one, you're plus, but not as plus as you are if you did back throw. So, again, he's going to be on all guard. Watch this. that works. Some weapon flips are too slow out of forward throw to get anything. Some are just too slow, and sometimes if you mess up the timing, it can cost you. If I played Haramaru, you get the general idea. Or anybody could be dead from it. No matter if you're full screen or not, you're on your butt, meaning this will happen. Block, and then punish. Again, I'm not a Yashimaru or Haramaru player, so the intricacies of those things are not my huge strong suit. I just know how they work and how I can try and deal with them. That's just how I work. Like if I see it enough times, like, oh, okay, and then I'll just try and maybe put it in the lab or try and kind of deal with it over time. So now out of these, you can do simple things like this. Special cancelable because this move lets you do that. You can also do this. And it combos and the weapon's gone, guaranteed. That easy. But again, your opponent can choose to do, let's say that for, let's do this example, the extreme. They are all free to do this. Again, you have to be aware, sometimes it's round one and they happen to do this. It's a lot. It's still a win because having meter in this game is very essential. Your EX moves are those moves are gone. Your weapon flip is just, oh god, it's just gone. The only thing you have left is the super special move, and even then, that's very situational. Like dumb situational. This is in my video, but I have mentioned that Wu Leixiong is the only character with a confirmed unblockable setup out of her traps, meaning she can do this. Pretty nice. Nice and good. She does have a touch of death, but it's very specific. Because it would have to be out of this, and then she would actually have to do it out of her trap. Let me... I can show it off. Oh, Lord. How? How? Oh, Lord. The damage is assuring, but it's a strict timing, because if you miss it by a second, you literally just lost your big super. Like, don't do it unless you are fully confident in landing it. See? It's just not gonna work. Oh, Lord, why did I do that again? See? But thanks to it being a juggle state, you have other situations where you can just kind of do this. Pretty good. Or you could do this. Just as much, if not better, because they lose their weapon. Like, I'd rather do this than doing this, because the chance of it is missing. But then they also keep their weapon, so that means they can do this afterwards. If they don't have their weapon, they can't burst no matter what they want to do. They have to deal with it. So yeah, it's kind of a thing you gotta be mindful of. especially if your opponent loses their weapon, that's kind of a big deal because overall weaponless damage is not the same. Like, see? That's me doing light, medium, heavy version of my things. Kick is always a guaranteed thing. Kick will always be the same. Even your jump heavy, the same. Your overhead will be a little different, but yeah. So now what you always have to wonder is, what else can you do without your weapon or with your weapon? You have deflect. This is the thing you gotta practice. And if you don't practice it, you're doing something wrong. This is essential because if you know your opponent or you can react to some situations like this, like if you see Hamaru getting ready in that stance, you can literally like, oh, just set that up. Or like, oh man, I'm ready. Dodge. Or oh man, I'm ready. Smack. And their weapon's gone too. Meaning they can't burst. They would have to deal with it. And the funny thing is about her is your trap can actually kind of just sit over their weapon. Now there is like some kind of forgiveness to it because like oh, well probably like on the other side. Let me do this with Hamaru jump over here. See? It's kind of in that type of realm. But if they can't get it from that side, they're screwed. Just kind of make sure you keep your distance as Wu Lei Shang. Make sure they don't get their weapon if they don't have their weapon. Make sure you know how to kind of pester your opponent and make them land on these traps. Because you are plus in this trap. Meaning they can't do certain things to punish you. So it's always good to be careful. Now let me go back to this move and this move. Dodge can dodge throws. See? And a full punish. Because throws again leave you so wide open. Like, I'll just show you like how open you're left. Took you so long to just do a simple jump. So now out of these things, with Hamaru, you have other options. Again, if you read your opponent throwing, you get a huge reward. It's pretty good. But if you read this, it's even better. Weapons gone. They're here. They're stuck in recoil. Means you can get whatever you want. You can do this, or you can do this. Or you could just do something like this. Even though that's kind of counterintuitive to it because it's not like you have the trap set, but then again, you could do this as well. Have this behind them. Now your opponent could do something to you here, but it's basically just best to just do this, and they have to deal with it because guaranteed. Because guaranteed in that specific scenario. It's because if you practice reflecting, you will practice like patience and your reactions, Because if you notice like certain key features of your opponent, like saying, oh man, they love to get very desperate and try and toss this out occasionally. If I could just see Harumaru get in a stance like this, because all of his stances are nothing like this. See? If you could identify this pose and then say, oh, I kind of see it. See? Like, you don't want to be trying to like throw this out because this is also punishable. See? Counter hit, more damage, adding to what you just got hit with. So it's like what you kind of want to practice is understanding your options. And then again, your opponent. Like, see, oh man, this is gonna keep hitting me. And then I just gotta see this. Because on recoil, they are... This is what recoiling looks like. Meaning that your character is gonna be shocked back like this. In this game, they let you get away with doing something like this. You can't, like, you see how long the heavy version of that took? Not good. Your opponent could punish you with like a medium or a light maybe in response. Some characters hit you with their sword in the light version, almost next to no recoil, so it's kind of whatever. It's kind of good to keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about characters without their weapons. You are stuck with one normal, and it's built to be worse than your normal with the weapon. Meaning, you can't really hit them too much past this point. Like, you're very neutered. Like, your jumping thing is like, look how bad this is, man. I have to like get like mad low to make this work. Unlike her weapon, where she has this one, this one, this one, with a lot of varying like specific angles to it. Pretty good looking, but without her weapon, she is useless. In your command list, they actually will tell you what specific move you can do without your weapon. She can't do anything without her weapon. Tam Tam can. The green plus sign there is what it means here. Possible while unarmed. Or some moves have a different symbol meaning while unarmed. So if I did Tam Tam, I'd be able to do my skulls, my fireball, my little spin, because I don't need my weapon for it. Wait, actually, yeah, you don't. You can be. He basically feels like a complete character without his weapon. He just doesn't have the great range anymore. That's like the little difference in Tam Tam. Harumaru without his weapon, you already saw before. He's just stuck with this, and he has this. Harumaru's Harumaru. You still have throw, you still have overhead, but the thing is about Harumaru, he actually keeps his gourd, meaning he can reflect projectiles. Or do like this. I think I'll confirm hit, I'm not sure. Harumaru uses like this. Or this. A good knockback. Pretty good. Overhead. Doesn't give you much, but it's still there. Like, what you want to do is you're like barehanded, like you want to get back to your weapon as soon as possible, because all you have is to call out your opponent and get their weapon away is this weapon catch. It's the same as this, but just you being barehanded. So we'll have this. And in some specific scenarios like this, like, oh, my weapon's right here. Oh, like, oh man, they want to punish me. Read. It can get your weapon back, and now they don't have theirs. And the fall of your weapon is still random. They changed this from Season 1. In Season 1, if you land your weapon flip on your opponent, your weapon would randomly fall at a certain spot. Never near you anymore until they changed it like a while ago. Here, it's still random. Like back in the middle. Behind me. Even better. So on and so forth. It's good to keep. It's good to be good to practice your awareness. So, now let me talk about weapon flip again. This move. They all have a different varied speed in some way, shape, or form. Harumaru has one of the other fastest in the game. It's stupid fast. Like, he could practically confirm it out of like this. I don't even have a freaking meter. Naturally, you can't do that. But let me just make sure one hit guard. Wow. You can't do it from there, but medium onward, this works. So it's good to keep that in mind. Because Harumaru's love to always trying to hit confirm into this to get knocked down or something in between. It's good to practice patience and awareness. I will always say awareness. So like the other thing you want to get in your head, I would say, is learning how to perfect block. Perfect block is one of the key essential things to kill zoning because it discourages your opponent from trying to hit you full screen. And the thing about this game, if you perfect block, you get meter and you don't take chip damage. Kind of a good win. It's like all about practicing, and it can help save you in some situations because you're not going to get chipped. But like you'll have this happen. Oh, look at that, like 5%, right? 5%, or like, well, 7 like damage overall. Perfect block, nothing. And I got like a little bit of rage meter. That's pretty good. Now, I'll have to switch a character because this one's very specific for me anyway. You can perfect block anything in this game. It's basically kind of like a parry. Not exactly like a parry, but I'm saying like you could perfect block each individual hit if you wanted to. So, I'll bring up these two for this just a simple example. Alright. So now we have Kyoshiro. He has ridiculous chip damage. We all know this. Probably like one of the best like chip in the game. Easy. I can confidently say that. Like, he will steal rounds from you by just chipping you out. That's like you're already dead, but now with the new added feature of this happening, I can stop that. But he still has his meter, so he could do it again, and I have to deal with it at that point. So you have to be aware. And no invincible, like, supers have invincibility on startup, except for Basara. And it's only for him. Because he teleports off screen and then slides right back in. That's how his works. So I'm now try and attempt this. I never attempted it before, but it's just the general idea of perfect blocking. I will show you the benefits of it without my meter. And oh, another fact, they now show how much rage falls down over time. Each character has a different meter loss speed. Some lose the meter faster than others. It's pretty crazy. So now, I'm going to try to attempt to perfect block all of Kyoshiro's super hits. If I can't, then I can't. But if I can block some or perfect block some, you'll see the difference. See? You can actually still do it out of guard, but it's just best to just block it at that point. Oh boy. Less damage than it is before because those hits are missing. Still lose your weapon though. Actually, I wonder if there is a rhythm to it. I'm pretty sure there is. Oh, I'm a freaking god! Let's go! What? And dude, I got like instant freaking rage meter from this. That's actually funny. I'm a god. I don't even care anymore. I don't even care if I can't get it again. I got it. I'm gonna get it again and just give a punish. Now your thing's gone. And you have like half your health gone. 1/3 of it, really. It's just gone. You can't complain. I perfect blocked like a god. You gotta eat that. But then again, if you want to be a petty freaking loser, the game lets you do it. Because situations like this do happen and exist. I'm gonna make this as real as possible. And I don't care. I love perfect blocking. Dang, last couple hits, man. I was almost there. Not what I wanted, game. I pressed medium, and the game knows I pressed medium. Leave me alone. Oh, I did that mad early. I feel stupid for that. I didn't get the last hit? Really? Alright. Dang, I stopped like halfway. Hands are getting sweaty. I want this so bad because this is just me exploring the interplay at this point. I didn't even block it. Wow, I'm just staring at it like a complete fool now. Damn. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Damn, I was like halfway there. I get right there and I panic. Ugh. Man, if I ever did this against somebody online, bro. It's like this. That's why I feel like what it is. Let me see how consistent it is. Oh, I stopped. Oh, I gotta dry my hands. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Give it to me. Damn it. I want this so bad. Bro. I mean, I know you guys probably already got the point about perfect blocking. Alright. Worst part right there. The worst part about Tamtam's weapon flip and why I hate it, but I also love it, is if they ever do that, the explosion is not big enough to save you. You gotta be closer to get knocked out of the animation. In this situation, I could do this. I could literally do anything as Kyoshiro. So if I wanted to do this, I could have. If I wanted to run up and do this, I could have. If I wanted to run up and do this, I could have. Anything's possible if you happen to ever block or just outright say no to Tamtam Super. And it's very painful to deal with, because if I ever had that situation, the person's like get mad petty, I could lose the match over it. So like, look example on what it looks like up close. The game gives you that if you're willing to push for it. If you gun a perfect block, you might as well accept it, because I've had moments where people will literally block all of these and perfect block all of them, because it discouraged me from just tossing this, because why would I want them building free rage? That seems dumb, because if they get rage, they do higher damage to me, or I can lose my weapon. Why would I want to do that? The cool thing is about Tamtam's projectiles, though, I can delay each skull if I want to, or I could just do high, low. So I could do this. Dang, what's the time again? Okay, I remember now. He has 3 skulls, so I could delay it by a lot to keep throwing them. Oh boy. See? You can still perfect block him. You just gotta be ready for each one, because they're individually spaced. So I can do this, and then try and slow it down again. I wonder if I actually can. Yeah, like you can kind of change the speed, I think, near the end, but it's whatever. So, now let me show... I'm really kind of stuck on this like perfect block hype, but I'll just show you an example again. This is the last time, I promise, I promise, I promise. I have to deal with that. And they could do this if they want to, or they could weapon flip again and again because it's blocking, but it is whatever. The reason why I say about these options is because it's the interplay of the characters and players that matter, because situations like that can't happen because people don't want to lose their weapon or lose the game, especially if you perfect block all that. Why would they let you get away with something like that? Especially when your character is negative after you block, if you block this. Why would they want to accept so much damage from it? Very dangerous. That doesn't mean that you can't do anything. It's just you have to always kind of be aware. So if you're ever in a war with Tamtam by like full screen, you literally could just perfect block it. And it's good perfect blocking practice, because other characters with projectiles can do the same thing. So I could perfect block all of these mad easy. I know this is like mad itchy. Give me a second. Alright, we good, we out here. And they all at different speeds too. But even then, look at the little meter that you build from this. This is from a light one. Like, their strength doesn't matter, I think, too much. It's just perfect blocking in general. But the idea is still there. Like, you don't want them to just kind of get away with, like, full screen assault. So it's gonna kind of, like, discourage projectile users by doing this. By just perfect blocking it. I want to make this as authentic as possible so you can see, like, potential meter gain from it. Oh yeah, by blocking it, you still gain some, but perfect blocking is the optimal, big quotations, to do. Man, me and my perfect blocks, I'm usually good on point in a real match. Like a good chunk each time. See? Each individual one gives you a lot. Now, I would say don't try and become a Daigo Umahara and try and perfect block everything. It can be very dangerous because you're putting yourself at huge risk at doing that. Especially if you're always looking for a perfect block in mundane situations, there's no reason. If they're zoning you, do perfect blocking. Or just block it. Right? You don't want your opponent getting away with any of the basic thing. Perfect blocking will kill these. Again, you've seen that you can perfect block in succession, meaning you can perfect block those 3 skulls if you so choose. Or you can perfect block freaking this move from Koshiro if you want to. I don't think I physically can, but I could try. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that. It's like too fast. Only the computer can perfect block that because they're the computer. But it's like, oh, perfect. Especially this one because it gives me more time to react. It's like one hit, so I can just perfect block it like one time. Oh no, it's a multi-hit. What am I doing? Actually, how many do I have to block? Like a good chunk. Alright, let's see. Like a good 3. 3 to 2. Again, I'm not saying that you always have to try and do those things. It's just, you can, but you shouldn't be trying to like look out for it unless you are aware of those key things. Like say again, zoning. This is easy. This could just take time or just you getting used to it in the match. Super simple. You have Yoshitora. Yoshitora is just kind of just an annoying case, so I'm not even gonna mention him. But you can perfect block his 7th sword swipe if you so choose. It's hard, but it would be a great Evo moment. I will definitely say that. Anyway, besides that, perfect blocking also gives you an option to safely knock your opponent away. So if you want to reset neutral, meaning the space between you and your opponent while you're playing, you could do this. It's called stance break. Ugh. That move. You have to hit your opponent. It's mad negative on block, but you will have the capability of doing this. Oh boy. That. Reset to neutral, full screen, and now time to zone. Or you as the opponent kind of work around it too. But anything can happen. You could stance break, your opponent can stance break. It's negative on block, meaning anybody can punish it. So on and so forth. hope that's good as well. Anyway, what other character? Actually, I can do this. I'm gonna show you a cool thing about reflecting some characters. Even though it looks like you might not be able to, in some situations you can. And this one's key to Yoshitora. I know a lot of people will have a problem with Yoshitora, but if you didn't know you can reflect this, you will now know. God, why is my nose so itchy? Oh boy. Also, if you have any questions again, just let me know. Alright, so now we're here in the lab again. We have Yoshitora. One of my other most annoying characters I hate to fight with sometimes. You always see this character have this 5 hits. And I've actually committed it to memory because I get a guaranteed punish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heavy slash. If I literally just time it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Guaranteed every single time. But some of you guys might have not known this. That's a far-reaching heavy slash. Like mine. And it's a use of their sword. Meaning... You see that? Meaning how far it is you can do this. Yeah, you can do that. Against Yoshitora if they ever toss that out recklessly. And that's out of my punish range. I'm just telling you. You also could do, well, I mean, I'm Tam Tam, so I can do this openly. It's mine. If you never knew you can reflect this accursed move, now you can. You can't really dodge it because it's a multi-hit, but that means that any of those hits you can actually reflect. I'm gonna try and get the last one. See? Each and every single one of those hits are yours for the taking. Let's see how the gap of that move looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty short gaps, meaning you can't do this. Because it will catch you mid-button. You can perfect block it if you want. And you get a punish? I would say that's pretty good. But again, you don't have to do it. You get a guaranteed punish anyway, and the chip? What chip damage? There's none. So it's not like you're gonna lose anything. It's just, oh hey, I can gain meter here if I want to. And it's actually pretty easy. This is basically how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because like 4 or 5 hits, it's like duh, 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 duh. That's how the beat of this one particularly goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then ba, da. That's how it is. There's a mix of anything you can do. It's just if you so choose. So now you know that you can reflect this move. Now there's this character you probably have dealt with in the past, or at least at once. His name is Jubei. He's the one with the most annoying weapon flip in the freaking game. Oh god, Galfred, shut up. Because it's safe on block. You can't punish it no matter what you try and do. Perfect blocking doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And the chip of it on it, I think it's like not even that bad, but it's like he can still keep doing it. I've already taken it upon myself to never let him get away with it. I don't even care who the player is. I don't care if it's God himself. I'm gonna poke him for it. Like, you can't get away with it because there's no invincibility on startup. You have to remember that. If you see them, just whoa. You see it? Like, you have a good 2 seconds to kind of punish it. And if you punish too late, that pillar still exists, and the opponent is kind of free to kind of do whatever they want. That's kind of nutty, I'm just saying. So let's put him on normal, because the moment he actually does get hit, the player... Whoa. Dang. Let me do this. Now, see? But he still got the meter. It doesn't change the fact that you can do whatever you want. But situations like this, it's best to always just preemptively stop him. If you practice, what we're going to talk about now is range. Understanding your length of every move. So you can, like, oh, I can poke him from here. So if they're going to do the super Jubei, oh, I might be able to punish it from here. See? I'm like, nope. Or if I want to do this, not that, but I was gonna do dash heavy, but see, not good, but the trade happens. That's not ever good. That trade is worse in your favor. Never consider those type of trades good in any way. Trust me. But you have your light and medium. These go super far, and during his super animation, he lunges forward a tad bit. Just a little bit. Meaning that, oh, I might be able to get a little inch in him, so I can just poke him from doing the super. Kind of all that, like, little things. So it's always kind of good to be aware of people who do weapon flips. But again, you can't stop this weapon flip. It's just a wall of energy. And he's safe the moment the thing just fades away. See? Fireball doesn't work. I mean, the fire is like right there. And if it does work, then cool. But that's like very specific. Because they're never going to try and do it full screen like that. And even if they could, they really wouldn't, because what I'm about to show you is a normal thing. But it's high risk. Because if you try and do this round one, you're screwing yourself over. If this is the winning round, then do it. But make sure you know it could probably kill, because after you throw it away, there's no way of having it back. So if you see your opponent do the super, again, it's hard to kind of get away from it, but rare situation, they do it from full screen, you can do this, and you already know what happens next. You get a full punish. Why did you not come out, you stupid game? Oh lord. So on and so forth. That's how it is. Very particular, but it's a consistent option you can do if you want. Punish a Jubei for getting too meter happy. What else can I mention? Jubei actually has almost like same range as me, so it's kind of good to know his spacing as well, because he could just freely poke you, and he doesn't have to feel bad about it. Cause man, this character can be pretty annoying. He actually did receive a nerf in the patch too, or like a minor adjustment. Kind of good to point that out. Now, in case if you have questions, feel free to hit them for me, and then I will get to them as quickly as I can. I'm just now reading the comments if you're interested, just to see what you guys say. Game was unresponsive? What do you mean? And why do you even say it like that? The Ethan was just being stupid. Game was just being stupid. I've had situations like that cost me the game. I hate it so much. I don't know why that happens. It is what it is, though. That's why you have a dedicated button to it. Ugh. What else can I say for training that I could do for you? Or at least the things that I do. I guess. Alright, so what can I say is next on my list of things that I could talk about? I really don't have a general idea. I mean, it's also the fact that I am getting a little tired. Well, not even a little. I am getting sleepy. I guess the thing that I could also say for me in particular is comboing, big quotations, out of throws. So, out of... yeah, different scenarios, that's kind of how the training mode in this game would work. Practicing confirms, situations, scenarios, or being able to reflect decently. I would say for the thing I do is comboing, because this move kind of helps me get by a lot. it's comboing out of any normal into this. Because if you ever get the big hit, if you're decently low enough to the ground, you actually will get the heavy hit. There you go, see? That particular move can give you so much. Especially for Tam in particular. I know, I'm pretty sure I can make that work. There you go. You have situations like that being a thing, or this. Or this for me. It's always good because I can get this after if I guess properly. Or if I see them try and press certain buttons when I'm like walked away. Reflect. Fireball. So on and so forth. Because if you try and do this on block, I actually can punish you. Because the only way to punish this, what I'm about to show you, is by doing like a light or maybe a medium. Is that reversal? On down? Yeah. So, Jubei's moves in response for what I'm about to do. I'll do heavy. Classic old heavy. No, I think it would have to be on guard. Yeah. What, is this not one hit guard anymore? Damn it. There. Oh, you're serious. Perfect. See? Situations like that are also possible. So we saw this, then let's see medium. Medium works, and you still have your weapon, meaning you can burst out of it if you so choose, or if you want to hold the damage because you value your meter a lot, and I respect that. So there's that, and I can punish. So your other option, it seems, is your light. Actually, I'm gonna redo it. Perfect. Damn it. Alright. Huh, looks like I'm still guaranteed plus out of light. But even then, it's like very specific because it might be due to the online delay. But I think I am plus enough at most situations on reflecting. It's pretty good. So yeah, that's always kind of good to keep in mind. What else can I mention? I really don't have anything right now. Damn, I probably should have done this tomorrow, so I'm actually fully awake. I could do a follow-up stream on it, but then what would I even talk about if most of the training I have is already kind of listed as it is? It's like 2:41 in the morning. Yeah, I think I'll call it for now. I've been I don't even know how long he's been streaming for. I'd probably say like probably like 1-2 hours. But this is as far as I can go. I am literally so close to knocking out, and I don't want to sleep on stream because that's gonna be embarrassing. And my nose is acting up like real bad. It's like 5 a.m. for you? You need to go to sleep, sir. Oh, I'm just so tired. Anyway, this was a nice, interesting stream. At least I have more lab notes on here to kind of share. I have a few more stuff for Tamtam, I guess I could show off before I go to sleep. It would be this. Whoops. If you ever try an air-to-air with your thing, like if you try and jump heavy against Tamtam and he reads it, and if it's a trade, it's actually in his favor. Or if you don't do it, then it's still in his favor. Yeah, no problem. Again, can you do it, please? I could do that. I could do... Can I please? I could actually time that and land that. Please. Oh, I think it's how he hits me. I can't make it work. No, actually, I can make it work. I'm just being dumb. Yeah, I have to do the light version. Please. It's timing. It's very timing specific. I've done it before too, and I have video of it. Dang, this is actually pretty godlike. I guess am I missing at a time? Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Oh my god, I hate Samsho right now. I know I can make it work. I literally have video of it. There we go. It was heavy. I was just being stupid. You have this situation after like 5 years of practice. You have this one. I actually thought it missed. Your headbutt actually can work here as well. There's honestly no reason of doing the headbutt, but you can if you want. It's not timing though. There we go. Make it look complicated, even though I was able to get on the first try many times. You have this version, and you also have this. Oh my god. You actually can make them fall on the skulls. Oh my god. Why does this game do this to me? Oh my god. You have that. Yeah, I would have to get the second follow-up with the skull. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure I was able to get the skulls to land naturally. I might be very specific, because if you fall in that fire pillar in a certain way, where it actually launches you up higher, that might be the version I'm thinking about. We also have this one. That is guaranteed. There you go. You have that. And those are the only other options that you are capable of doing naturally. Hope all that helped. And your kicks as well. Your kicks, your sliding dash kick, this kick does work as well. I'll show that off. I just suck. Jeez. Unless I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I'd have to double check. I know this would work. I'm pretty sure this would work. Or I am probably missing it. Because this works, this might work. That one's just more guaranteed. It's just better doing it that way. That or the air thing. Pretty good, because if they also grab the weapons, I can get this for free. I have to react to it though. But yeah, it's a cool looking tech. He also can do this. Oh my. People found this one out before me. So if you get hit in a certain way, I actually can confirm that into it. I'll do that. It's, I think, at a certain point, yeah. Ooh. Doing this with him is gonna be like a little harder. Yeah, I'm gonna do... Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. I can do this with Yoshitora. I couldn't do this with Yoshitora. I'll do it with Yoshitora because I hate this character. Jeez, I keep extending the time on myself. Again, people found this out before me, so what I'm about to show you isn't made by me. Just someone or other people knew about this existing. It's pretty cool. I would still say it's kind of unnecessary unless you know the opponent's gonna die for it. But that's like such a specific situation that probably doesn't happen too often. But getting hit in the air by that is possible if you read the jump at a certain point. So that's the regular one. There's one version of that where he actually can get shot up higher. Unless they change that in this patch, then shoot, then never mind. Because you were able to land this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it was at the first hit with the sword. I know it exists. I've done this. There it is. It's that one in particular. It's that type of hit. Where you see he gets re-propped into the fire. That's the one. Oh wow, I didn't even get hit. I need to actually get a trade out of that. Oh wow, it just misses. Wow, it just misses? No, I'm getting hit. It's just not hitting me. Interesting. How... How is it missing me? This is the first time I've ever seen it miss me this much. This is actually kind of surprising me. How is it missing me? Did they change something here? Because I'm so confused. That's the one, I think, still. Oh my gosh, please. No, that's not the one. Really? What was it then? I have the video. I can't be going crazy. Why? This is actually bugging me. Does he not have this anymore? Really? It seems that I can't make it get that second hit that I need. Really? This might have been a minor change that they fixed, or could have been a bug. I don't know. The resin move still exists online, so it's not like they patched it out. Huh. Oh, okay. It's when he's almost out of it. Really? Really? I guess I can't get it. I have the clip of it on Twitter, so I could probably try and link it in the regular comments or something. I don't know. But I do know that I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. It's going to be 3 in about 2 minutes. This was a fun stream. I just can't seem to get what I needed. But even if I can't, all the other stuff is very cool, and I like it for what it is. I want you all to be safe. Have a good night or morning wherever you live. I'm gonna be heading out. Bye, everyone. Or at this point, yeah. You guys all be safe.